So here we go.
Okay, what's up? This is Vice Carter. We're now tuned in. It's Facing the Giants. Big show on Facing the Giants. Babe Bro. Yeah, it's the Vice Carter interview. Hello.
Recognize real good times, my city. Keep busy, keep busy. And get your ass on the dance floor.
The name Vice Carter originated from, let me see, I was sitting in class one day in Southwest in 2006, and just basically scribbling on my notebook, and this word Vice came into play because I was looking at the Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories cover or whatever at the time what happened. And I seen this word Vice and I fell in love with it. So immediately I went to the dictionary and I found out what the word meant. And like the word meant for secondary, but mean, evil, and wicked. And for me, to be a battle rapper at that time, I felt like I had a mean, evil, wicked vocabulary in what I was saying as far as me presenting to everybody else. So I took Vice from that word and I was like, that's pretty original because you have a whole lot of girls one day that like, what's up, Vice? So that's original. And I took Vice and I was like, well, Vice is kind of blank and it's kind of stare. So I figured like, what should I put together with it to make it sound more original and more flavorful? So Vice, and sitting back one night watching a New Jack City movie, I found out that the Carter was a cartel full of drugs like cocaine, promethazine, heroin, or what have you, any type of drug. So that's what the Carter was. And for Vice Carter to come together, it's like a mean, evil, and wicked mixture of dopeness. So when you hear my music, you're gonna get like a taste of that, of what I'm trying to, what that name stands for, a mean, evil, and wicked mixture of dopeness. So Vice Carter. So if you take one sniff of me, you'll over. Flint, Michigan. I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan. You really can't say anything has changed. You really can't say anything has gotten better. But then again, I take that back. You can say a lot has gotten better as far as like the talent and the acts that are coming from Flint. Perfect example, Babe Bro, FACELESS Giants. Vice Carter, Kid Coogee, any artist, per se, that's in the city, Kingo Live, Chuck Young, anybody. So it has changed and it has, kind of stayed the same towards the people who just want to be, influenced by music culture and Hollywood and things and what have you. But for the people who actually understand and value life, it has changed a lot. And I appreciate my city changing, especially for the younger faces, because if we don't change, who are the younger ones going to look up to? Oh, yeah. Besides hip-hop, I'd have to say I listen to a jazz group called Soul Live. I also listen to rock, perfect example, Gorillas. I mean, everybody listens to Gorillas, I think. Any other music genre as far as, I really can't tell you, except rock, hip-hop, jazz, a little bit of R&B nowadays. The old R&B.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that people wouldn't expect me to listen to. Gorillas, for perfect example. The Who, the Beatles, and I've done a lot of rock and roll research on Lenny Kravitz also. So, yeah. I have to say the number one artist that influenced my style would have to be this artist from the West Coast named DLC.
Okay.
DLC was this artist from the 80s who had this album called No One Can Do It Better. And he had his first single off that album called Funky Enough. And after that album dropped, it went 5 times platinum, which was a tremendous success for his career and others. Like, he signed his rights, he signed everything over to Ruthless Records, which was an Eazy-E's label back then. And he got into a car crash in 89, I believe. And from 89 to so on, he's just been ghostwriting and behind the scenes on a lot of things like the DLC. No one knows that the DLC ghost wrote for Dr. Dre's The Chronic. No one knew he ghost wrote for Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Nobody knew he ghost wrote for Dog Pound's Dog Food. So DLC influenced my style just by saying that even though that you're not in the limelight, like in the spotlight, you can still make a tremendous difference in music genre itself. You don't have to be, you know, Jay-Z. You don't have to be an Eminem. You don't have to be a Michael Jackson, or what say. But you can still influence people. Like the DLC is a whole bunch of artists influence Eminem, Jay-Z, and anybody else who knows about him. So that was the main artist that influenced me, myself, and how I am today. I'd have to say locally, everybody. You know, from all types of music groups. Like I've seen a lot of people who actually made a tremendous effort towards bringing back that real feel, that real soulful feel of music so far. And locally, like I can name a lot of cats. John Connor, perfect example.
Love John Connor.
Yeah, Chuck Young.
Fuck with Chuck.
Vice Carter.
Of course.
Kid Coogee.
No doubt.
Justin Day. You know, a lot of people have actually made a tremendous effort towards this music, especially local singers. Lando Scott, like a whole bunch of people like, locally have made a huge success as far as towards, you know, the contributions that they have made towards the city, and also the influence that they have on upcoming artists. And it's like, since we have that power, we have to try to use it wisely and try to, you know, make the new ones understand that it's not about how many things that you do in music, as far as like how many people you kill, how many cars you got, how many, you know, stock rims you can stock up in your garage just to put on this car. It's more about the lives you change with that music. So if you're not changing any lives with that music and, you know, entering into the soul of those human beings that listen to it, you're not really doing as much as you set out to do. Yeah, we have Vice Carter GTA 3 Transpose Aggression, and I was going to call it GTA 3 Cross. You know, I want to call it Transpose Aggression because the word transpose means to transfer from one location to another, and I want to transpose my aggression and my passion towards the world, transpose it to the world, and basically let them know that when you put love and passion into music, it comes out better than what's on the radio today.
Okay. All right.
As a matter of fact, you can just Google Vice Carter, and it comes right up. Like, well, Vince Carter come up first, but you have to go to the little search instead, and then it'll say Vice Carter. When you click that, you'll see like a whole Google page of my music. http://www.reverbnation.com/Vice Carter. Dapip.com, search Vice Carter. We're gonna start that soon. Search Vice Carter Movement. Who is Vice Carter Movement? We also got Hot New Hip Hop. Search Vice Carter. YouTube. Search Vice Carter. It's gonna say search instead. Click Vice Carter. That's mainly it.
Alright, man.
Facebook, Twitter, Vice Carter.
What's the Twitter?
Twitter is Vice Carter, and then you have the little guys sitting there with their headphones or whatever. Just search Vice Carter and it'll pop right up. Okay,
at Vice Carter. Facebook, Vice Carter. Okay. That's what's up, man. Thanks for the interview, bro.
Oh, one more thing before I go. Shout out to Faceless Giants, Big Bro, Kid Coogee, ATCET, Blue Label Corporation, Promotion Team, Street Team, as you know of, Element Records, DJ KF1, Wolfpack, USG, United States of Grinders, Crown Black Music, High Dreams Music Group, and that's about it.
Alright, man. Thanks for the time, bro.
They don't want to hear a nigga with intelligence. They just want an arrogant piece of shit, hella rich. Actor turned rapper, all they rap about is yellow chicks. With my brown sisters at with a brown sugar hat. Still in love with Robin Givens. Still a Mary Kelly rolling in a minute. Still got Gabrielle on my stereo. Typical mindset, I got the rhyme like this.